Okay, guys, today we're going to take a look at one of the most common use cases for generative AI automations that I run into all the time with my clients, and that is the use case for a PII remover agent. This is an agent that's going to remove any personally identifiable information from a call recording so that you're not feeding personal information into a generative AI model that your clients or customers haven't necessarily agreed to you doing. Now, once you've removed PII from a call, you can then leverage that information to help you create blog posts, white papers, new content, things like that. And one of the best sources of content creation, in my opinion, is call recordings and being able to leverage those insights to help you create content for your business. So today we're going to take a look at this PII remover agent in Make. And the first step of our scenario today is going to be watching for a new Google Doc in a folder. So I use Fireflies. It's a common note-taking app. Fireflies records your calls and will summarize them with the help of AI. And I house all of my Firefly recordings in a Google Doc in my Google Drive. So whenever a new Fireflies recording file shows up in my Fireflies meetings folder, it triggers this automation to begin working to remove PII from those calls. So as soon as that new call recording shows up, I download that transcript via the document ID from the previous step. I'll include tabs. Fireflies now includes tabbed content in Google Docs for your different sections of your transcripts. So you want to make sure you're including your tabs if you are using Fireflies. And then after it's pulled that document down, it then is going to feed all of this into our PII remover agent. So I will include a copy of our prompt in the description of this video. But this prompt, as you can see here, I've laid it all out. I've given the Gemini agent an instruction that it is a privacy-focused data sanitizer specializing in PII redaction. And then I've given it a bunch of rules that it must follow. It must look for names, contact information, financial data, identifiers, dates of birth, anything else that's explicitly mentioned in the call that could be of PII concern. And then I've also given it a methodology for redacting that information. So every time you see someone's name, insert a name in brackets, email in brackets, phone in brackets, so on and so forth, so that it anonymizes that information throughout the transcript. Now, it's also been instructed that it will not redact things that don't break sentence structure, make the conversation unintelligible, things like that you don't want it to. You want to prompt for no hallucinations as well, so that it's not making things up as it's redacting information and altering your file in any way. And then finally, you want to make sure that it's returning the same information in a sanitized output so that you get that file and you can then go leverage it in other AI agents and automations. So you'll see that entire prompt showing up here as a text message under the role user. And we want our output to be in text. How many tokens do we want to allow Gemini to leverage in this output? I put in 20,000. Sometimes you can have really long call recordings if your calls are over an hour. You might find that your number of tokens is getting pretty high. And in order for Gemini to complete its job, it may need to output 10 to 20 to 30,000 tokens, depending on the length of your call. Again, a token is equivalent to one word. So you could do a word count to get a better idea of exactly how long your calls are. And then once Gemini is done with its work, you will output the result from Gemini, which can be found here in Make. You're going to just click on result, create a new document. I recommend naming your document something like the date or the title of the previous call recording so that you can identify maybe the company that you were speaking to, or something that is easy for you to discern exactly what that call was contextually when you want to use it again in the future. And then I just have it drop that new cleaned file into a PII removed call recordings folder in my Google Drive. And then you can link all of those clean call transcripts to the generative AI model of your choice, so that you can then leverage that to help you create new content ideas, maybe summarize a massive group of calls, look for common pain points, objections, uncover new ideas for go to market motions or pricing or things like that that may be coming up over and over again in calls. But really leverage AI to analyze massive amounts of call data and help you identify those things that are going to make a difference for your business, or those things that are going to help you generate new content. But this is just a very simple PII remover agent. Hopefully you find this helpful. Again, you can get my prompt in the description. And if you enjoyed this content, please continue or consider subscribing and throw a like and a comment for new videos that you'd like to see in the future. Thanks and have a great day.